Hello everybody, and welcome back to Bikinibottomtopsecretfiles, the channel where we crack open the darkest secrets, hidden truths, and forbidden theories from your favorite cartoons. Today's theory is one of the most disturbing ideas in Rick and Morty history, because if it's true, the Rick we're watching right now might not be the original Rick at all. Rick does one thing better than anyone else. He prepares for death. Think about it. Clone vats, backup consciousness, storage, emergency consciousness transfers, fail-safes inside. Fail-safes. Rick doesn't act like someone who fears death. He acts like someone who's already died and learned from it. Why would Rick need this many backups unless dying was something he'd already experienced? Normal people plan to avoid death. Rick plans to continue after it. There are multiple moments in the series where Rick should be permanently dead. One of the biggest examples is the Rickshank Rickdemption. Rick is shot, blown apart, completely destroyed. Yet moments later, he wakes up in a different body. Another example is Edge of Tomorty, Rick Die Rickpeat, where Rick literally dies over and over again, transferring into alternate bodies across realities. But here's the terrifying part. Those deaths don't feel like exceptions. They feel routine. Rick barely reacts. No panic, no fear, just mild annoyance, like someone who's already accepted that death is temporary. In the Rickshank Rickdemption, we meet something terrifying. Memory Rick. Memory Rick is self-aware. He knows he's a copy. He understands he isn't the original. This means Rick can create versions of himself that think, reason, and exist independently. So here's the question. If Rick can store memories, transfer consciousness, create self-aware copies, how do we know the Rick we're watching still contains the original consciousness? What if the original Rick died long ago, and everything we've seen since is just continuity through memory, not identity? Rick doesn't treat clones like copies. He treats them like tools. Bodies are disposable, minds are transferable, identity becomes blurry. At some point, the question stops being, is Rick alive? And becomes, which Rick is alive? If Rick has died and rebooted himself dozens of times, then the Rick we see today might just be the latest iteration, not the original being. Same memories, same personality, same intelligence, but a different origin point. This theory explains something fans have noticed for years. Rick's emptiness, he's depressed, detached, emotionally numb. What if that's not just trauma? What if it's existential exhaustion? Imagine dying over and over again, knowing each version of you continues, but you don't. Rick might know that he's not the original anymore, just a continuation, a ghost of himself wearing memories like a mask. That kind of knowledge would break anyone. If Rick knows he's replaceable, life stops feeling meaningful. Why care about consequences if you'll reboot? Why fear death if it's just a reset? Why protect relationships if they can be recreated? This could explain Rick's recklessness, his lack of empathy, his dark humor, his refusal to take anything seriously. Because when you've already died, nothing feels real anymore. So here's the theory. Rick has already died multiple times. The original Rick may be long gone, and the Rick we're watching now is a continuation, a copy carrying memories, not the original consciousness. Same genius, same trauma, same personality, but not the same soul. And if that's true, then Rick isn't just fighting the multiverse, he's running from the knowledge that he already lost himself. If you think Rick has already died, let me know in the comments. And if you have another theory you want us to investigate, drop it below. Your idea could be the next top secret file. Thanks for watching Bikini Bottom Top Secret Files, where the multiverse is broken and the truth is even worse.